Hi, my name is David Wilson. I was born in January of 1989 in a small town called Naples, Florida. I lived there for 6 months until my parents brought me up to Springfield, Missouri in June of 1989, where we joined a church by the name of Cherry Baptist Church. That has been my home church ever since. In October of 1994, I was looking through some boxes upstairs in my parents' house. I found a small tract and took it down to my dad and had him read to me, seeing how I was barely starting kindergarten at the time and I couldn't read. When he read it to me, he asked me if I understood what it meant. I said, yeah, I understand what it means. But he asked me after that if I wanted to accept Christ in my heart. I said, not at this moment. But when I went back to my bedroom, I knelt down and asked Christ in my heart. And then later that month, my dad baptized me at church. I continued my schooling at Christian Schools of Springfield from kindergarten all the way through my senior year. During my high school years, I was working with a maintenance man at Cherry Baptist Church who taught me multiple things. One of the things which I didn't see at the time, but I see it now, which is mentoring younger people. And he also taught me how to hunt deer and plumbing and other maintenance stuff. One of the times when we were doing a task around the church, he asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I told him I wanted to be a youth pastor and that I wanted to go to Baptist Bible College. He's told me that was a great goal. Ever since then, I've still wanted to work with youth, but I've also wanted to be a missionary. That fall of '05, my church had a missions conference and had Larry Allred as one of the missionaries. I asked Larry Allred if I can go down to Mexico and visit him and his family. He said, sure. I told him, not this summer, but next summer I'll be down there. So when January of '07 rolled around, I applied for my passport and started sending out letters to raise support to go to Mexico. When it came time, getting closer and closer to being able to leave for Mexico, my passport hadn't arrived. It didn't wind up arriving until a day after I left. I had to postpone my trip a couple days because I didn't have it, but President Bush signed a temporary bill, allowing people that had proof of application for their passports to go to places like Mexico, Canada, Cayman Islands, and a few other places. But when I found this out, I rescheduled my plane ticket for that following Friday, and I went down. My passport arrived that Saturday. While I was down there, Larry taught me what it was to be like a new missionary, learning a new culture, going down to the market and just walking around with the people, just listening to the language and learning the culture. A conference last year, 2012, their oldest son was at our conference with his wife and baby, which rekindled or refueled my passion to be a missionary to Mexico. Ever since then, I've still wanted to be a missionary in Mexico. In the summer of 2008, I was on staff at a church camp that my church owned by the name of Camp Cherry Mountain, which is like 30 minutes north of Buffalo, Missouri, right outside of a small town called Edith, Missouri. The camp director's wife, with small hints by my mom to her, asked me what I wanted to be. I told her I wanted to be a missionary that works with youth. She had persuaded me to apply at BBC since I told her I wanted to go to BBC. And that weekend when I got back in town, I've been involved in some ministries at Tracy Rapids Church that's helped me with working with youth and children. One of which is the bus ministry